XRP holders, is altcoin season here right now, or do we need to wait a little bit? Because I'm seeing a lot of confusion on the timeline, a lot of people talking about a lot of different things, and yet the market is still pretty quiet. So I want to make a video about this and give you guys my thoughts on where I think XRP could be head here. So without further ado, welcome back to Crypto Report. I'm Blacksea. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel right now. Anything I say is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Let's hop in this video. All right, guys, so first things first, starting over on Crypto Twitter, you can follow me at 333 Blacksea, I say right now. And from time to time, I like to post a meme about crypto, and really, I like to post memes all the time because it's funny, but it's Forrest Gump running, and he's labeled as Bitcoin, and behind him is altcoins just waiting to see what Bitcoin is going to do. And I think that this is a very important image of what is going on in the over-encompassing crypto market, because right now, Bitcoin is getting very close to testing its breakout period, its breakout area around 110,000. And I think that if it bounces off this, we should be leading into true altcoin season. And if we see it break below it, I think that opens up a can of worms. So let's take a look at XRP. XRP right now is broken down to about $3. We wicked all the way down to $2.75. And guys, you know, if you watched my XRP video from the other day, I said I believe that this is probably a good chance that this is somewhat the bottom. We had a candlestick started to fulfill it, and I didn't think we were going to wick all the way a little bit lower. I thought it was about 278 was going to be the bottom, but it looked like we came down to about 274. But guys, you know, if you guys were watching my video, I was saying I think there's probably risk to the downside, and I was opening a short. I have since closed that short position. I've just been high leverage scalping, guys. You know, I really did expect that right now we were going to be leaning away from the range-bound, high-leverage scalping strategy. But guys, you know, we're in the fourth and final phase of the bull market cycle, and it usually has the most trappy behavior. And, well, it was a trap. It was a bull trap so far. Now, the question is, do we see follow-through? Do we see it break down? Or do we see it make a bear trap? You know, a bear trap is very possible, but, guys, obviously, we would have to probably break somewhere below, honestly, probably like $2.50 and hold above 236. If we saw a wick below 236 in bounce, that'd be a good area for a bear trap. But I don't want to be talking about that just yet. But I just want to emphasize on that in the fourth and final phase of the cycle, you should be expecting bull traps and bear traps. And sometimes it gets a little crazy where it's just a bull trap into a bear trap into a bull trap into a bear trap, and just constantly really grabbing those liquidities, just the liquidity sweeps from the outside the channel, below the channel. That being said, so I shorted when we came down below $3.30, but I'm out of that trade now, and now I'm just kind of seeing where we're going to be moving from here. Maybe I'll enter a long position here shortly, but I kind of want to see what happens with Bitcoin on this daily candle open on Monday. I'm recording this video Sunday evening, so we have some time until market open for the traditional market. And guys, I will say, though, that I think that the high leverage scalping strategy will be kind of what I'm going to lean back into. But that being said, I do think that there's some altcoins that have some fantastic setups for long-term longs. So when I say long-term longs, you know, multi-week trades. But now, guys, that's not financial advice. I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing in these markets and how I am profiting, and that's what I'm doing. Now, if you guys do want to trade with me, check out in the description box below or pinned comment down below. We have a $100,000 deposit bonus to BitToNext, as well as a 10% trade rebate and $5,000 sign-on bonus to Blowfin. Feel free to check those links out in the description box or pinned comment section below. They're all affiliate links, so they really help support this channel if you want to trade with me. So, guys, looking at XRP, we're sitting at rank 3, down about 8% in the past 7 days, up about 6% in the past 24 hours, catching a little bit of a bid here after we saw a big capitulation event over the weekend. But, guys, like, really wasn't that big of a capitulation event. It was just kind of cooling off after we saw somewhat of a very large rise. Like, let's measure from the bottom here. We're talking about a 90% gain on XRP before we saw a little bit of a drawdown. Now, that's absolutely fine to see that play out. We're talking about a drawdown of 24% really, and then we came back up, so it was really a 20% drawdown. Guys, that's nothing. That is not crazy. That is not a big capitulation event. It's just kind of like cooling off after you see a big move to the upside. This is what you want to see. You don't want to see just a rally straight up that just keeps going up, because then it's going to collapse when it does cool off on the buyers. But really what it comes down to is when the longs get too greedy, the market makers will want to nuke the price. So you need to be paying very close attention to that. What you want to see is like stair stepping, and This is kind of looking like a stair step, but let's not put the cart before the horse, and let's see how this price action develops into the week. But guys, we're still sitting at $177 billion market cap, sitting around a $3 XRP price. That is a good level to be at. But I do want to emphasize on, are we in altcoin season? Is it time for altcoin season? Do we need to wait a little bit? So we're looking at Bitcoin at 115,000 basically. Bitcoin dominance at 61.16. When you exclude stablecoins, we're basically at 63.2. But that being said, guys, I still expect Bitcoin dominance to rally throughout Q3. And I think that I've been pretty spot on with that. I think it's going to continue to play out that way. And I don't think that we see that big washout on Bitcoin dominance, that true altcoin season, until Bitcoin bounces here. And most importantly, we see the Fed pivot. You know, I know it's so annoying hearing about the Federal Reserve all the time and how it's, oh, why can't we just be talking about crypto? But guys, like, if money is tight in the world and bankers' money is expensive because the rates are high, it does cause a strain on the money flow. And it does cause a strain on risk on assets. And well, so now it's harder to pump the price of altcoins. Bitcoin is in a little bit of a different situation because it's getting adopted by institutions. But that being said, I do think that we need to wait a little bit longer. Now, are we in altcoin season right now? I will say, when it comes to certain altcoins, there are some fantastic setups. Like, they are looking pretty good for some good longs. But when it comes to overarching, like, frothiness and altcoin season, I think we got to wait just a little bit longer, guys. And I do think that on Bitcoin, I would not be surprised if we come and test 110K, maybe even wick below it. I think retesting the breakout is very normal when it comes to, I don't want to say parabolic moves, but when new highs get made on an asset, coming down, retesting the breakout is quite common, almost dare I say inevitable. It almost always happens. And now maybe this is what we got. We got to 112K, but 110,000 probably. I mean, maybe like we came pretty close. Like if you want to go off the wicks, like 111,800 on the daily time frame, and we came down to 112,200, less than like $1,000 difference. But guys, you know, I think there's a high likelihood that we do test it. But if not, this is pretty close to it, okay? And what's really a $2,000 change in price on Bitcoin? Will that cancel altcoin season if we draw down a little bit further? No, it won't. And if we rally from here, will it cancel altcoin season? No, it won't, okay? I just want to emphasize that, and I've been saying emphasize a lot, haven't I? I've got a lot of important things to be telling you guys if you are holding XRP. I think that altcoin season is kind of here right now. I think that there are a lot of opportunities in some charts that are really forming out after we saw this drawdown over the weekend. And I think that we have to be a little bit patient to see the true frothiness. So maybe right now is a good opportunity zones for a lot of these alts. Now, it's not financial advice. I'm just telling you guys how I'm seeing these markets and what I'm doing. I'm looking for long opportunities to hold into Q4, because if you buy when everything's already up, you really cut yourself short on all the gains. But you still can make money scalping and like buying after you're already in confirmed altcoin season, but I like to get the best bang for my buck. Now, guys, let me know in the comments below. Are you bullish on XRP? Do you think that XRP is part of the altcoin season right now, or do we have to wait till Q4? I want to know what you guys have to say about that. I think that right now we're slowly moving into altcoin season, but we're not quite there in that full-blown altcoin season where Bitcoin dominance breaks down to like low 50s. I think that probably will play out, but we just have to be a little bit more patient here. That's all I got, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel right now. If you want to help support this channel, check out those awesome affiliate links down below. And I'll see you next one. Bye-bye.